Hello, here are my audience members. Some other dudes. As a college student, there are 2 times a year that are just the absolute worst. Once in the winter and once in the spring. Finals are a time of stress and anxiety. I end up biting my nails down to the nubs and cramming for the exams that oftentimes have little impact on my final grades. Instead of studying the material for the class, I find myself calculating what my final grade could be depending on how I do on the final. All the little points that could bring me up a % or 2 only stress me out more. I find myself asking, does my teacher round up or no? The only few times in my college career I have had final exams that did not cause me to have a minor heart attack was when I took English and Calculus 2. Those are the 2 classes that did as pass-fail, and it made a world of difference. While there are both pros and cons for pass-fail grading system, the general consensus among students and scholars is that it would be a better and less stressful form of grading. What exactly is pass-fail? Most colleges and universities agree that in order to pass a class, a student must have earned a C or higher in the class. In a pass-fail grading system, also called a satisfactory-unsatisfactory scale, if a student earns a grade equivalent to a C or higher, they pass, and a C minus or lower, they fail. There's no letter grade given, just a P or an F is put on their transcript. This method of grading was adopted by certain primary and secondary education institutions in the 1960s. It is still used today in many public and private grade schools around the country. For example, my 9-year-old sister received report cards full of S's for satisfactory at the end of the year instead of A, B's, or C's. From my own personal experience, I can attest that pass-fail grading system in fact is much less stressful than the traditional grading scale. There's no shortage of research out there that also supports this opinion. According to Dr. Daniel Rowe, the 3 main benefits of pass-fail grading system are reduced stress, improved mood, and better group cohesiveness in the classroom. In 2006, Mayo Medical School in Rochester, Minnesota, came out with a theory by switching the first year's courses from the traditional letter students were recorded and compared to the stress levels of the second year students who took it in the traditional letter scales. They measured the students' stress levels by periodically having the students take surveys that showed that they were feeling emotionally and measure heart rates as well as perspiration levels to determine the physical impact. As fail classes generally have more normal heart rates and lower classes than the traditional pass-fail. Philip Duns from the Equinox newspaper suggests that pass-fail grading allows students to focus on enjoying their classes instead of worrying about their own personal experience. With calculus, the class completely supported the evidence that this type of grading is less stressful. As mentioned before, the study done by Mayo Clinic shows that pass-fail grading left students feeling more positive. Another important benefit of this grading system is the effect it has on the mood of the students and the atmosphere of the classroom. Less stress often results in students having higher sense of self-confidence. Dr. Rowe and his team compared the scores of the end-of-year exams for both the pass-fail graded classes and the traditional letter graded classes. Contrary to popular belief, there is little to no difference between the 2 sets of test scores. The students who studied and applied themselves earned higher exam scores than those who did in both types of classes. Researchers speculate that students enrolled in the pass-fail class scored well because they had high sense of self-confidence and because they cared less about what letter grade they would receive, more about the contents of the class. The atmosphere or mood of the classroom was also affected by the pass-fail grading system. Retired Professor Bob Klein has taught both pass-fail and graded classes and traditional graded classes in his career. One of the biggest differences he noted between the 2, he said, is an increase of group cohesiveness and a weakening of in-class competition. While some people think that a decrease in student competition will lead to students being lazy and not working as hard as in the classroom, the cohesion between students creates a supportive and nurturing work environment. Klein also noted how he has observed that more subjective classes, such as English, philosophy, and psychology courses, they are based heavily on papers and essays, work better with the pass-fail grading system. Students often get frustrated when receiving grades on a paper or essay because even if they tried their best, they might have not met the teacher's expectations, and every teacher has a different expectation. It is much more fair to use the pass-fail grading system in this circumstance. Another reason why it is so important for students to have the option of taking pass-fail class is the example of student Tyler Stritterman. Tyler was an accounting major, and during his senior year still had general ed credits to fulfill. Being able to take geology and psychology pass-fail allowed Tyler to get the credits he needed to graduate while also giving him the time and energy to focus on his upper-level accounting courses that he had to take. Tyler said, it was a safe option that let me graduate on time without having to worry about any negative impacts to my GPA because of a non-major related course. There are a large number of scholars who are completely against this idea of pass-fail classes. These people do not believe that pass-fail classes can accurately reflect the effort or intelligence of the students. Klein has even pointed out that the issue of starting out in one major, taking a non-relating class pass-fail, but then switching majors having to retake the class for a letter grade. Many professors have also expressed the concern that students take pass-fail classes may also slack off on assignments and attendance because they aren't focusing on the class as much as others, since they only have to get a C. They fear that the students are not properly motivated to try and pass pass-fail classes, so they will not learn the material. Of course, the flip side to this argument is that when students are concerned only with earning a good grade, they don't properly learn the material. Cramming for an exam might enable the student to recall the information on the test the next day, but it does not become long-term knowledge. Professor Miller and Collette at Kenan University brought up another important downfall in the pass-fail grading system. The traditional letter grading system allows for comparison between students, while pass-fail does not. With the grading system, future employees and graduate schools have an easy way of comparing the academic achievements of multiple applicants. If a pass-fail system was implemented, then how would the students be fairly evaluated? Basically, while the pass-fail grading system might be beneficial to students during school, people are afraid that it will only end up hurting the students in the long run, especially when they graduate. While those against the pass-fail system make a valid argument, the fact still remains that it is much less stressful for grading. It creates a much better sense of student self-confidence and more positive moods, as well as greater in-class cohesion. Those that argue that the pass-fail grading system is only used during the scholastic years and has no practical benefits after graduation fail to see the system benefits for the greater good of society. If a student can get through school due to poor GPA, then they do not get a chance to apply for higher paying jobs or graduate school. I believe that these students should be given as many opportunities as possible for them to succeed. Changing the entire education system to pass-fail would be a dramatic change. It would have to be a slow and steady conversion process. However, it is my firm opinion that pass-fail classes should be at least an option for every student to take the pass-fail. Thank you. Here are my audience members.